All right, big day, big day. A lot of things happening in the world. If you guys are new to this channel, I talk about basketball all the time, so make sure you subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, all those good things. We're here to talk about some of the biggest news stories of the day today. And I mean, obviously, I'm talking about the biggest story. How can we? It's the elephant in the room. I don't know how you can talk about anything else without talking about the fact that the Charlotte Hornets are hosting a sports betting theme night. I mean, that is quite possibly one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Now, I've actually been told that they are actually reversing this, so we'll see if that's true or not. But a sports betting theme night. Oh, yeah, that's right. There's also another very big news story that happened today that we must discuss. Germany and Slovenia played, and I talked about this in a video yesterday. You guys seem to like the Eurobasket stuff. You guys like the Lucas stuff. Let's just be honest with each other. But I figured I'd follow it up. A really, really fun game. I told you guys yesterday, right? Germany was a huge favorite. I thought there's no way Germany should be 13-point favorites in this game. It's just way too much in a single game elimination like this, especially considering Germany's shoddy three-point shooting at times could get them in trouble in a game like this. And it did. But Germany pulls away in the fourth quarter. They win the fourth quarter 29-17, ends up being the difference in the game. They win by 8 points. And really, it was this third quarter swing that happened. Tristan da Silva hits it, and I'm a little bit worried about this because FIBA doesn't fuck around at all, but Tristan da Silva hits about a 60-footer at the end of the third quarter. That made it a 4-point game. They then immediately go on a 7-0 run within like the first 60 seconds of the fourth quarter. And just like that, they're ahead. I mean, it went from being a 7-point game going into the fourth. If you're Germany, you've got to be feeling very worried about your situation. Tristan da Silva hits that, and immediately the game turns on its head, and Germany didn't look back. I mean, it was close up until the very end. We'll talk about some of the officiating stuff, but a hell of a effort from Slovenia, right? Just a really impressive tournament. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I mean, it feels like everybody except the absolute dog shit teams in Spain, I guess, make it out of the group stages in this tournament. When Slovenia lost to Poland in their first game, I thought it was possible they would not make it out of the group phase. I really thought it was possible. So to go from that to the round of 8, and then you have Germany on the ropes, the now prohibitive favorite to win this tournament after Serbia got knocked out. To have them on the ropes, and then, Germany pulls away there late. And I don't think Germany was necessarily impressive in this game or anything like that. But you got to feel pretty good about your situation. If you're a Lakers fan or a Luka fan, you got to feel great about the way that he played in this tournament, and he was great today outside of being in foul trouble on stuff I thought was foul. Let's just start here, right? Let's just start here because this is what everyone's going to talk about, the officiating in this game. The officiating was fucking dreadful. And I want to say this. If you are maybe you're a Lakers fan, right? And this is kind of the first time that you've dove into Eurobasket or any FIBA competition. In the past, I have openly said I thought that this is some of the best basketball competition you can watch because the games flow really well. They let them play. It's physical. Officiating, they're very loose at times. That has not been the case this tournament at all. I don't know what the shift is. I don't know. Maybe it's always been like this and I was just blinded by it. But I don't know where the shift happened necessarily or when it happened. But the officiating's been god-awful in this tournament. And this was one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen. And it was for as competitive as a game as it was, with how many, clutch moments there were in this game, with the back and forth that happened in the fourth quarter. This was a dreadful watch. I just have to be honest with you. This was a dreadful watch of a game. We had Slovenia shoots 25 mind you, this is 40-minute games. Slovenia shoots 25 free throws. Germany shoots 37. Literally every single thing that happened was called to foul. There was no room at all for any physicality in this game, and it was a fucking dreadful watch, a horrible watch, and FIBA should be ashamed by that. They really should. It was just an awful, god-awful product, and if you are somebody who's watching this for the first time, I promise you it is not usually like this, okay? So if you're leaving it going, my God, that was awful to watch, I agree with you, and I'm not entirely sure where the switch happened here. Now, naturally, online, there's a lot of crying. I've openly said on this channel before my disdain for this new era, and maybe it's not new era, but it's just amplified because of social media. Anytime your team loses, we have to cry and bitch about officiating endlessly, how much I hate it, and I've seen that all over the internet here. I do not think Slovenia lost because of the refs. again, I think this game was horribly officiated. Do not get me wrong. I thought Slovenia were the beneficiaries of just some calls where I was like, there's no fucking way you're calling that, as was Germany, because that's all they called all game long. Now, the thing with Slovenia is, yeah, they gave up a bunch of free throws. Some of them late in the game were intentional, but not that many. I don't know off the top of my head how many, maybe 4, if that. So, out of the 39 or whatever, 37, not much. The problem for Slovenia is you're not an athletic team at all, and you're not big. So whenever you do go big with a guy like Omic, right, who's not an athlete at all, you have no athletes on the floor. Like really none at all. You have no good athletes on the court. And you're going up against a German team that does have good athletes. Franz Wagner is a terrific athlete, right? Dennis Schroeder is a very quick guard. Even guys like Isaac Bonga is a good athlete, right? Daniel Tice is a tough cover for a team like Slovenia, especially in an international competition. You're going to foul. I don't know why we have to we have to say this all the time because people cry about officiating. It's my least favorite fucking thing, right? But you have to say this all the time where if you are a small team, if you are not a very athletic team, you're going to foul a lot because that's what you can do. How many times did Slovenia get a blocking foul call past the 3-point line in this game? Because they can't stay in front because they're not athletic. That's how basketball works. I'm sorry to say it. Does it suck from a viewing experience? Yes, it does. It does. And this game sucked to watch. It just did. The refs sucked the life out of this game. It's just the truth, right? But I don't think it was necessarily one-sided at all. And part of why I think it's become such a prevalent talking point is and guys, I want to give you my honest assessment, right? I want to give you my honest assessment because that's why you guys come here. Who gives a shit if I just read a box score or whatever? My honest assessment. I was rooting for Slovenia in this tournament. I thought it would have been so cool to see this roster go on a deep run. And they did. They had a great tournament and a lot to be proud of, right? But man, the whining was just hard to watch. I mean, it's every second. And obviously it's Luka who did get a technical in this game. Luka's doing the money gesture at the refs. A little bit lucky that didn't get him a second technical in this one. But it's not just Luka. It's everybody on the team. It is nonstop. It is. And it's difficult to watch. I'm sorry to say it. Again, I have to give you guys my honest assessment. Otherwise, why am I even recording this video? There was a play late, and the game was pretty much over at this point. But Schroeder gets in the paint, drops it off for Bonga, who's cutting. And I don't remember who it was on Slovenia, honestly, off the top of my head. Just rams into him. I mean, it's not even up for debate that it's a foul. And their whole team just starts crying endlessly. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, if you want to complain about bad calls, but once you start complaining every whistle, and in a game where there's 50,000 whistles, it just becomes a lot, man. And this is also, it's like every time Slovenia loses, this happens. You have somebody who's just crying about officiating. I'm sorry, it's just difficult. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good look personally. And again, I think the officiating was horrible tonight, but I think it was just terrible in general. It's just, I wish there was less crying and complaining. I really do. And Germany had their bats with their gripes with the officials as well, but it was not at that level. And I have to give you guys my honest assessment because I sat there and I watched the game at the DMV. I'm on my phone. I'm getting my license renewed. Guys, if you're not, maybe it's different in other places in the United States, but in Dallas, Texas, getting your license renewed is literally like a months long process. Okay, I'm not joking. You have to schedule this shit at months in advance. And then even when you schedule an appointment, you go and you sit there for hours. So anyways, I'm sitting there and I'm watching it. God, it was just a hard watch. The officials were just so terrible in this game. But anyways, this shot by Tristan da Silva was just crazy. And honestly, it swung the game. I don't know, maybe Germany takes over in the fourth anyways. But going from down 7 to down 4, they have the ball to start the fourth quarter. Germany does. And then they go on a 7-0 run in the fourth quarter. Man, that just felt like the game was over right there. Like it really did. It felt like, man, it's going to be so hard for Slovenia to reclaim the lead and hold on here. It's going to be so difficult. And props to Germany who, not the best Franz game efficiency-wise. 5 of 17, my God, 0 of 3 from 3. But I liked the way that he played. I thought that he was aggressive. I thought that he was assertive. Had a couple of really nice plays. Had that one play, I think it was in the second quarter, where he's getting going in transition, spins, with that left shoulder, gets into a dunk. Ooh, that was nice. I mean, he is an uber athlete. He really is. And then he had that really tough midi that basically iced the game late. I really liked that little elbow pull-up jumper that iced the game. That's a nice shot for him. The three-point shooting obviously is a thing for Franz that is concerning. But Schroeder's typically, FIBA, In case you don't know, Dennis Schroeder's a different beast entirely. I thought he was dreadful today. I thought he was awful. And he picked it up in the fourth quarter, and he just, what it was in the fourth quarter was a little bit frustrating because it's like, why didn't you do this the whole game? Which is, there is nobody on Slovenia who can stay in front of you. There's nobody on Slovenia who even has a chance to stick you. That's just the truth. Why are you not just aggressively getting into the paint? Schroeder 9 threes, and some of these were just like dreadful, not a lot off the catch. Some of these were just dreadful. I'm not even going to make it to within 5 feet of the 3-point line. I'm just going to bomb a three here. I hate those shots for him. I really do, because it's not like you're Steph Curry. It's not like you're Luka. Luka can shoot those shots. You're at your best when you're getting into the paint and collapsing the defense, which he did do later in the game, to his credit. But I did not think it was a good Schroeder game at all. Daniel Theis dominated this game. I will say that. 26 minutes, 15 points. I mean, yeah, look, plus 23 in his 26 minutes. Slovenia just didn't really have an answer for a big like that. And that was always their big weakness, right? The moment that they came across like a really, really solid international big, it was going to be a bit of a problem. And that's Daniel Theis. You don't really think of him like that because he's not your traditional like plotting bigs that I would say do pretty well in this tournament, like a Jonas Valanciunas. But yeah, Theis did good. And I thought he did pretty good on the possessions where he got switched on to Luka, and going to the Slovenia side. Yeah, Luka was awesome in this game. 39 points, 5 of 16 from three. That's kind of what you have to do though, right? Like I can look at Slovenia and say they bombed 39 threes. They shot poorly from three, but that's when you're like an underdog like this and you're already out talented, right? Because Germany's obviously a much more talented roster than Slovenia, but you lack the athleticism, you lack size. You have to bomb away from three. That's how you win these games. That's kind of what we talked about yesterday, where I was like, I'm giving Slovenia a chance because they have the best player in this game in Luka, and they do have guys who can get hot from three. Prepelic hit a couple big threes. He was 3 of 10, but he had a couple big threes that felt like in the second, third quarter, felt like, my God, is Germany going to lose this game? When Prepelic was getting going. And to Slovenia's credit, they really did well. Luka was in foul trouble in this game, only 32 minutes. It's still a lot. I would say without foul trouble, you're probably seeing 37, 38 minutes from Luka. But I thought they did a pretty damn good job in the non-Luka minutes surviving those, right? And then you had the disastrous end of third quarter into the fourth quarter where that all just kind of slipped away. But up until that point, I thought Slovenia really looked impressive in those minutes, and Prepelic was a big reason for that. I got to give Alan Omic some props, right? Now, I did just kind of shit on him because of the crying after the game, but he stepped up in a pretty big way for Slovenia in this tournament. So I got to give him some credit. This is a team that just does not have a lot of bigs, really, or any to speak of, and this has been a problem for them forever. What was that guy's name? Mike Toby? Wasn't that his name? The nationalized guy. I mean, there were Mavs fans who were begging for him. It's funny because you think about the Dallas Mavericks now with their front court. There was a time, believe it or not, when Mavericks fans wanted Mike Toby. Was that his name? Mike Toby on the team. Just this, no offense to the guy, God bless him, just this pretty bad center. God awful. But you kind of looked at the Mavs options, and it was just when Dwight Powell was starting center, and you're like, well, if he could hit a couple threes, like he's already got a rapport with Luka. That's how bad that situation was. It was bad. But yeah, I mean, you needed a lot to go right for Slovenia. You needed a nuclear Luka performance, which we did get. I mean, 39 points, right? You needed Germany to really struggle from three, which this is a German team that can't. And you did get that. They went 9 of 30 from three. And up until the fourth quarter, it was way worse than that. You needed a little bit more, right? You needed a hot 3-point shooting game. That's it. You needed a red hot 3-point shooting game. And you unfortunately did not get that. But, if Prepelic is red hot from three, Prepelic hits 6 threes and goes 6 of 10. If you get anything from Alexei Nikolic, you probably win this game and you're headed to the Final Four, the semifinals. So, no reason to hang your head if you're Slovenia. A really great effort. If they can figure out a way to get a naturalized center, like there's some talks about Daniel Gafford. If that happens in the next international competition, what would it be? World Cup? If they have Daniel Gafford on the roster, this is a team that can absolutely win the whole entire tournament. And I'm being dead serious. Because Luka's a god in international play. He just is. I mean, obviously he's incredible everywhere. But international play, he's always the best player in these tournaments. That's just the truth. If you've watched him at all, you know that he always shows out and dominates these these type of tournaments and stuff like that. If they just get like a competent big, especially a guy like Daniel Gafford, who would be great in a setting like this, they could win the whole tournament. Like genuinely, Daniel Gafford would swing this whole thing for them. So we'll see how that ends up playing out, because that would be quite interesting. But Germany moves on to face Finland, who won today. I have a feeling, the thing about Germany is that scares me a little bit with them is their 3-point shooting is just a little shaky, man. And all it takes is one bad 3-point shooting game. That's all it takes. All it takes. So we'll see. Finland, obviously, they've been playing great this tournament. Markkanen looks great. I have to be honest with you, I watched a little bit of the fourth quarter of this game, so I don't really know what transpired. But they all tournament, they have been getting solid performances up and down the roster from a lot of non-NBA guys. So, we'll see. I think Germany's probably going to win that game pretty comfortably. And then Greece, Turkey, that's good. And then I'm assuming I'll pick Turkey. I think we're going to get Turkey, Germany in the finals. And I really don't know. That one could be really interesting. So anyways, wanted to talk to you guys. If you guys enjoy these, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Slovenia, really impressive performance. Seriously, I am impressed with how they played. Obviously, Luke was great. If you enjoy basketball, if you enjoy NBA content, let's subscribe to the channel. I'm just going to be talking and rambling. And I don't know about what, but I'm just going to be yapping.